What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Scary Hour. And hey, man, this week has been a crazy ass week. I looked at something called the Pandora Papers. I kind of still am looking into it, so don't get mad at me if I mentioned something that you maybe learned about that I maybe had missed. But if there's anything that I've missed that you know about that I didn't talk about, make sure to let me know about it and let others that are listening to know about it as well. But yeah, the Pandora Papers, they're basically a whole bunch of offshore accounts that these billionaires are creating. And by offshore, I mean like in other countries. There's corporate tax rates in other countries are really low. So, it makes sense to kind of like go to another country, put your business out there in order to pay less in tax. You feel me? But because of that, they were able to still like make a whole bunch of other fucked up shit with their own money. You feel me? So whatever money they had coming in, or whatever money they were paying, whatever corporate tax they were paying, the rest of that money, or a large sum amount of the money that they would making, instead of throwing it into corporate tax, they would embezzle it in different ways. There's just countless amounts of different ways in which different leaders around the world were embezzling money. So I don't know, like in Singapore, for example, the corporate tax is like 17%. In Canada it's like 15, and in Ireland it's like 12 or 11 or so. So just to give you an example of what kind of percentage of corporate tax rate people, these leaders look for when moving their company or creating their company or whatnot. So you would kind of understand. I mean, I understand as to why, a leader or a CEO of a company would want to move elsewhere. It's just what they do with that excess money that kind of questions shit. And it also, I was reading something that it also like kind of affects how the accountability towards these leaders would work. It'll be a little bit difficult to kind of like make sure a leader is held accountable for a certain wrongdoing of his or hers, because whatever law is illegal to commit here or to break here could be completely different elsewhere in Singapore, or obviously, because Singapore obviously has different laws than the U.S. does. Canada does as well, even though they're a neighboring country. But and maybe a lot of people would say that we have a lot of similarities to them, but essentially we do have different laws. There's certain things that maybe we deem as non-ethical that other countries may look at it and be like, well, that person is providing us jobs. There's a lot of people that fight for. They get mad at a lot of Apple users. Because I want to point those out, because those be the ones that be mad at Apple. Talking shit about Apple creating their phones elsewhere and using child labor to create those battery phones or whatnot. Yet they're using the phone. I'm not complaining because I use iPhone. So shouts out to them kids. But it's like I ain't saying shit, but there's people that be acting like, social justice warriors that be just out here trying to like cater to the right mind. People be trying to get bitches like that. It be that, it's always gonna be that certain dude, that one dude that's a little too woke. But it kind of doesn't make sense as to why he's woke, because he kind of like, yeah, it's just, I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's when I was my girlfriend brought this up to me. Actually, I had no idea what the fuck the Pandora's box, the Pandora Papers were. She was telling me that this is a newer version of what was the Panama Papers back in 2016. Whatever that is, I haven't looked into it yet. But please educate me if you're listening to me right now. But yeah, the Pandora Papers, they're really interesting. Shit. I mean, if I was a billionaire, I'd probably do the same shit. Unintentional though. You feel me? Like, I would probably do that shit and then like later on get in trouble for it and be like, yo, bro, I really honestly didn't think this was such a big deal. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to have offshore accounts. I mean, you would want to expand and then like try to like earn the most money you can. You feel me? Shit. I mean, I don't know. But if you were wondering, how do the Pandora Papers affect you? I have it right here. This is a screenshot that my girlfriend took. It is, I can't necessarily. Okay, actually, to be fair, I believe this is from the Washington Post. So shout out to the Washington Post. I'm not gonna post it. I'm just gonna read it, just because the picture that I have here doesn't. I would try to look for it somewhere there. It is easy to look at the offshore system and see it as something off in the distance, but it really does touch almost everyone. Okay, the system drains tax revenues from countries we live in, enables criminal enterprises from drug trafficking to ransomware attacks, and it makes it harder for people to hold their leaders accountable. All right, perfect. So it's exactly what we were talking about on the last line, on holding leaders accountable. I guess I'm assuming by that line they mean, well, kind of, if a leader or CEO of an enterprise or of a corporation breaks a certain law in the USA, maybe he would get time, maybe not. But that court date or that court order or whatever, when so individual goes to court, best believe that if this individual has the same corporation or enterprise elsewhere, for example, Singapore or Canada or whatnot, other countries, it'll be really hard to, take this person down. I don't know. I'm putting that in quotes because, like I said, people have different opinions, and us Americans, we might think something is really unethical and fucked up, but people in Singapore are probably like, yo, bro, that shit is fine over here. Like, y'all tripping. But because we're America, they're probably gonna cater to us, so I don't know. But yeah, that is what I know about Pandora's Papers. If there's anything else that you feel like I've missed, if you want to go more in depth on things, honestly, I really just looked into this today. I just finished listening to a couple podcasts and a YouTube videos on this topic. So if there's anything, honestly, please, guys, feel more than free to just comment it down below and let me know what I'm missing. Let me know if there's any key elements, key points that I did not bring up, and enlighten me, please. Please enlighten me. I don't know what happened here. Okay. But yeah, that is the Pandora's Papers. But yeah, guys. Yo, now that I just remembered, I almost lost it earlier this week. Because motherfuckers, social medias was down. I mean, thank God I had already posted. And and shared last week's episode. So it had happened right after that. But you know, at least I friggin' put it up on my story for for people to see and shit. I was like, what is going on, bruh? And it's all because of a whistleblower. Honestly, listen. Shout out to some ordinary gamer. In other words, Muruhar. He basically let us know what really happened with the whole Facebook shutdown, which also led to, you know, Instagram and WhatsApp shutdown, which is the social medias that I use in WhatsApp and Instagram. I don't really use Facebook, but I was really afraid. But it wasn't the only thing, because word to everything, I was trying to get into friggin' YouTube, and YouTube was like taking dumb long to load and shit like that. So that's part of Google. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, shout out to Mudahar, because he put us on, or some ordinary gamer, because he put me on to how it really went down. You know, he's a tech freak. And yeah, he basically let us know what it was exactly that was going on with Facebook, and how the shutdown really happened, and that it's not really or how it could really not be, you know, this whole conspiracy theory about it, where you know, because the whistleblower came out and was stating that Facebook is going along with this narrative of separating people from reality, and I forget exactly what it was that she said, but she was saying something along those lines of like, it's separating people, like it's intentionally dividing us, something like that. But yeah, during the shutdown, Mark Zuckerberg lost like $7 billion. For anybody that doesn't understand that lingo, $7 billion. Which is like chump change to him. Which is crazy, because I'm in debt. So it's like, swing something over, bro. Like, I'd be grateful with 10K. Just 10K, I pay off my you know, my student loans and shit like that. But anyways, yeah, it's it was scary. I didn't know how long it was gonna be for. I was bored as fuck. I didn't know what else to do. Everybody around my household was just standing around, just like, so. Yup. Gratefully enough, though, I could listen to my playlist that I had on Apple. But yeah, some people speculate that, you know, it's because of the whistleblower. It's because, you know, she came out and spoke out against Facebook. Honestly, though, I really don't understand. I feel like Facebook is on its last limb, and that's why they bought Instagram and WhatsApp, because it's like, it should have been gone. Like, I remember me being on Facebook back in 2013, 2012, 2013, 2011. Those 3 years I really had in Facebook. Like, I remember, like, I was thinking last night of how people would be on their computers or whatnot, right? And like, you would go on Facebook and you would like have conversations with people in the little tab on the bottom, and you have conversations with them and talk to them and shit. And I'm like, wow. And then like it would pop up like a little green circle to let you know that they're online and shit. I don't know. I haven't checked Facebook out on computer in a hot minute, so I don't remember if they still have this practice. But like, I think back to like 2012, 2013, back when it used to be like that. Like, that shit was fire. And it's like, you wouldn't be able to send pictures through the little box DM shit on the bottom of your screen while you're just like looking through statuses and shit. But you would be able to send like these little emotes. I don't remember very well if you were even able to do that, but if I'm not mistaken, you were able to send these little emotes and shit, which was like the closest thing to memes. or DMing each other memes and shit. But yeah, I feel like honestly, Facebook should have died down back when I left it. Because you know, I feel like, how can I say, like MySpace, I had a MySpace at one point. I wasn't supposed to, and I barely remember how I don't remember how my shit looked. But I remember having like 8 songs on my shit and then like a couple pictures up. But I don't recall any of that. I was too young. I made it on some fuck up shit, like just fucking around and all of that. But then Facebook came in and started taking over, and you know, I was a little older. Had a good grasp on how to surf the web and use laptops and shit like that. And I created my own shit. And I remember at that time I would hide it from my mom that I had Facebook, because you know, when you were like, we're back in Facebook when you were like 11 years old and Facebook was out. Oh, when Facebook was popping, you would have to like hide it from your, unless your mom was like really fucking cool, didn't give a shit. My mom was like that, but she kind of gave a shit. So I was like, yeah, I used to hide it, and then up until one point it was just like, yo, she was like, you got Facebook? I was like, yeah. I mean, come on, man. Like I'm 12. Let me have Facebook. Yo, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's simpler times, guys. I miss those days. I really do miss those days. And if you know anybody that heavily uses Facebook now, if they're not old or like in their late middle ages, and they're like young adults, like my age and shit, or younger, they're a menace to society. I'm gonna let you guys know right now. I'm gonna put you onto that little secret. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a little boo thing that has Facebook nowadays, and well, I have Facebook, but I don't use that shit. So if anybody that you know that's around this age and or era and uses Facebook really heavily, like on some like the same way motherfuckers be using Twitter and Instagram nowadays, is a menace to society. That person will cheat on you in an instant. That person will hit you in an instant. That person will verbally abuse you in an instant. That person don't give a shit about nothing. I'm not saying it just because I don't use Facebook. I'm saying it because I've grown to learn this throughout some time now. Those be the motherfuckers that have no internet on their phone or don't have their phone connected, so you have to wait for their reply, and they respond to you 2 hours later when they finally get a McDonald's that has a Wi-Fi and lets them sit inside, especially after COVID. I feel like you have to hit up the motherfucker like, yo, we linking later? Yeah, facts, bro. I bet. What time? 2 hours later, nigga, we're like, my fault, bro. I ain't have internet. Where you at? I'm right here. I'm in McDonald's in fucking West Farms. Oh, I bet. Bro, right now I'm at work already. You should have chilled earlier. Yeah, my fault, bro. I had to leave the other McDonald's. No, I feel for them people though. But those be the motherfuckers that be heavily on Facebook, because probably Facebook loads a whole lot quicker than Instagram or Twitter does on them bum ass fucking McDonald's Wi-Fi's. But y'all know who I'm talking about, bro. The menace to society niggas. Those be the menace to society niggas. But yeah, the social media shut down. Back to that. Shit was tough. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little scared. I thought it was over. I'm like, God damn, bro. I just started my podcast. What the fuck? How am I supposed to, like, I'm gonna keep on trying to post it, but like, damn, bro. Like, yeah. And it's like, what if, hear me out on this one, right? What if they made it on purpose, right? They made the shutdown happen on purpose just to see people's reaction when the internet or social media goes down. And now they got us by the balls like that. They got us by their clitoris. You feel me? Like, they got us. They're like, oh, we could tell how much they give a fuck about this shit. Yeah, we knew they gave a fuck about it, but now we really see how many fucks they give. Oh yeah, we gonna do something. We gonna definitely do something about this. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's the conspiracy theory I'm going towards. Feel me? People think it's because of the whistleblower thing. And I hate they call her a whistleblower just because she said that. I mean, she used to work with Facebook, but like just because she spoke and said like Facebook is designed to divide us, or is focusing down on continuing the division between us humans. Like whistleblower. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really look into her shit. She probably said something crazier. She probably, stated a whole lot more. But it's so ironic how immediately after this story with the whistleblower comes out, Facebook shuts down. And it gets me tight. It gets you to think, because it's like, yo, why the fuck would you, the previous owner or the CEO, the used to be CEO of WhatsApp or Instagram, why would you let a motherfucker like Mark Zuckerberg buy your shit? It should be illegal to do that. You feel me? I think that shit is called like something like it has something to do with like monopolies and shit like that. And like we should really enforce laws on these monopolies, because it's like, you telling me the same nigga finna own most of social medias? Like one dude. Nah, bro, we need that diversity. That's why Twitter wasn't supposedly, I don't know, because I have Twitter, but like Facebook, I don't use it. But supposedly, they were just fine and dandy watching everybody go to shit, or everybody that's over on Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp and shit. So it's like, you feel me? I fuck with Twitter in that aspect. I mean, I don't think I would ever use Twitter until you guys start putting me on to Twitter and like, tagging me into shit. And I don't know. I never know the right people to follow on Twitter. So that's why I don't give a fuck about Twitter, because I don't find anything. I'd be bored in that bitch. Porn or not, I don't give a fuck. That shit, I'd be bored in that bitch. But yeah, that's really why. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's weird, and I like that about Twitter. Even though I don't really use it, I like that the owner or whoever the CEO of Twitter is, and always doesn't look to sell that shit, or doesn't give a fuck. Basically, doesn't give a shit. Even though motherfuckers over at Twitter be fucking banning people, from what I've heard. Motherfuckers get banned for saying certain shit, but then you could post your butthole. Like, I think I've made this point in previous episodes before, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, guys, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, a couple of days ago, news broke out that 18 former NBA players all have been charged and some arrested for defrauding the health and welfare benefit plan, which is crazy to me. And Big Baby Davis was one of them. Like, it was a total of $4.4 million that the total 18 players scammed this program out of. And from what I heard, I forgot in what video, but somebody mentioned that the total of these 18 players combined made a salary of like 300 mil, of over $300 million. So why would you even defraud or look to fuck around with a program for just $4.4 million? Which falls immensely short of $1 million per person. It's not even like each of them are getting 4.4 mil. It's 4.4 mil between the 18 of them. Which, don't get me wrong, for me would be a lot of fucking money. But you're an former NBA player. What are you doing? Literally, whatever slight chance of getting into like a I don't know, one of these TV shows that speaks about NBA shit has gone completely out the window. Max Kellerman just from what I've heard, he's no longer in the show he was in with Stephen A. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, it's just what the fuck. 15 out of the 18 players have been arrested. So there's only 3 of them motherfuckers going through court shit. You feel me? Or been charged. 15 of them Jones arrested. It's so stupid, bro. Like, come on, you know better. I would believe you know better. But I don't know, bro. Shannon Brown was in that bitch too. I was like, what? Those were the 2 big names that shocked me the most. Shannon Brown and Big Baby Davis. Shit. It's ridiculous to me. But I mean, hey, man. A lot of more people might go to jail eventually. Little by little. Because motherfuckers are getting... shit is coming out to the light now. About all the defrauding people were doing during the pandemic and shit. So there's going to be way more stories than these. Maybe not on the collegiate level. By collegiate, I mean like, I think that's how you say the word. But by that I mean, these celebrities / athletes and shit. So... yeah, it's unfortunate. It sucks. Imagine LeBron was in that fucking list, or one of these players that are playing nowadays. Shit is crazy. I would lose my shit. But yeah. But moving on from that, I was watching last night with my girlfriend. I was watching the new Dave Chappelle stand-up. It's called The Closer on Netflix. So if anybody's interested, watch it. And maybe... stop the podcast right here because I might get into a little bit of a spoiler alerts, but I'll let you know for sure. At the beginning, I really liked it. I really liked it all in general, the entire stand up. I enjoyed the whole hour. It's an hour and like 15 minutes. I enjoyed all of it, but the funny moments were at the beginning, like the first 30 minutes of the show. The rest was just like more serious talk, which it may be funny to other people, but it wasn't to me. It was just like I was learning from it. I was just like, oh, good point. And one of the topics he spoke about was the how the transgender community. How scared of the transgender community he is. And what I mean by that is it's not like, oh my God, it's a transgender man. Oh my God, I'm transphobic. No. I mean like that he's afraid for his life to like, because he's gotten shitted on by transgenders all around. And LGBTQ community all throughout. Because they feel as if he is punching down, quote unquote, on their community and whatnot. You have to watch the show. It's really fucking brilliant. Hey man, the GOAT. How he says it himself, that's really how I see him as. He's the GOAT. So you have to watch it for yourself. But honestly, he makes some great ass points. I don't even want to fucking continue talking about it. Just because I want you to see it for yourself. Create your own opinion on it. Shouts out to Dave Chappelle. And I wish I'd meet him one day. But what he does say at the end is that, or towards the middle of it, was that this is his last stand-up for a while. So he's going to go on a hiatus, I guess, or on a little break. But it's there on Netflix for you to see. So sit down, binge watch if you haven't watched all of his specials on Netflix. And you won't regret it. But yeah, moving on from that. Let me see what we have here. Oh my God, I read this and I was like, bruh, I'm about to start. Elon Musk pays former employee $137 million over allegations of racism. Back in August, Melvin Berry was awarded $1 million for racism he endured while working for Tesla. Now, another gentleman by the name of Owen Diaz, who was the job title as contract worker for Tesla, stated that a jury trial that he stated in a jury trial that he was told to go back to Africa, and racial slurs directed towards him. He would also see racial slurs written down in the bathroom stalls. Okay, a mil, for the first guy, August, for Melvin Berry. I was going to say August Berry, but $137 million. I'm sorry, I had to give that a moment of silence. I'm just, what? What is going on? This is going to be like the Me Too movement. Watch a whole bunch of people start popping up out of nowhere like, yo, he called me a chink. Yo, he called me a motherfucking, he called me a spick. Hey, man, I don't blame you, though. Shit. The fuck does $137 million do to fucking Elon Musk? He's my guy, though. You feel me? I fuck with Elon Musk. He's like the only billionaire that I fuck with. But yeah, when I read this, I was like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, what is this? Is this like another, like Me Too movement? Where it's just going to be a whole bunch of people popping up out of nowhere, just blaming their billionaire CEO for, or not blaming them, but, suing or taking them to court for racist remarks. Now, it could have happened. You feel me? But it's like, why the fuck would you give so much money to a motherfucker like this? I mean, to each his own, whatever. Shit is crazy. You know what I would do with $137 million? You know what I'd do with $1 million? Y'all wouldn't even want to know. I do a lot. I do a whole lot. I do it a whole lot, guys. A whole lot. But yeah, I mean, shit. Before we continue on, I don't know if you guys seen, but Nike opened up a new LeBron James Innovation Center. I don't know what that's all about. It looked fire though. I saw some pictures on social media. I was like, God damn. All right, shit. It just goes to show, man, who the real GOAT is, man. Come on, man. Y'all, the old heads want to be all like, that's all y'all now generations be saying. That's just. Bro, let us be, bro. Hey, man, you don't know what is going on. We're making money over here. You don't know what is going on. I don't know if any of y'all have seen that sound on TikTok. You do not know what is going on. We are making money here. You do not know what's going on. Shit was funny as hell. But yeah, damn, I really wish I knew more about the Panama Papers. Not gonna lie, or the Pandora Papers. I don't know shit about the Panama Papers. That's back in 2016. But the Pandora's Papers, I wish somebody I knew somebody that can sit here and really break down to me, and we could have a really great informative dialogue. I'm sorry that was random, but that was just a random thought that just popped up into my head because I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, God damn, I'm so limited on these informations. But eventually, as I've mentioned before, we will get to a point where we would be able to invite people over and sort of kind of resourceful people. I say sort of kind of because I personally don't know many people that I can invite that I can safely say that they know their shit. So, but then again, it's like that's part of the whole podcast. It's like eventually we'll figure it out here, face to face, and with you guys watching, if they're full of shit or not, or if I'm even full of shit. You feel me? I try to say as authentic as possible. But yeah, Pandora's Papers, man. And speaking of, I feel like people, we're in an era right now. I was gonna talk about this. I meant to add this to the list, but I had a while with this in my head and I haven't added it to the list. But now that I remember, I'm gonna talk about it. I feel like we're now in an era. This past year and a half, we've been in an era of exposure. And not exposure as in like, hey, look at me, look, I have content. I'm throwing in content. I'm saying exposure of like, if I were to be a YouTuber that like CoffeeZilla or some ordinary gamer. He makes various different content, and both of them do. But there's so many of these YouTubers who are blowing up now because they are so well informed, or they take the time to very to well inform themselves very well. I love it. I love the fact that I'm on that side of YouTube. I love the fact that I'm on the side of like people exposing the Nelk Boys, or like Jake Paul and Logan Paul getting exposed about Dink Doink and how bullshit of a fucking scheme that coin was. What was the other one? Save the Kids token, some shit like that. Save the Kids token. That shit went to shit as well. It was amazing, guys. I've been great. I've been enjoying all of these videos, and now they're Some Ordinary Gamer and CoffeeZilla have been throwing out a new a little series they got going on. I'm waiting for the I'm all caught up with the series. It's been 2 episodes so far. So what they do is it will be CoffeeZilla throwing in one video, and then Some Ordinary Gamer throwing in the next video, part 2, and then like I'm assuming CoffeeZilla throws in part 3, and then Some Ordinary Gamer part 4, and then so you get the memo. Yeah, it's about this gambling site called Wizza, and the other one was called it wasn't much so about Wizza as it was about the first 2 episodes weren't, as it was about damn it, what was the other one? Hold on, guys, let me look for it right now. I got you right now. But yeah, they're basically exposing how give me a second, let me get the name of this place or this website, and then I'll let you guys know. I'll put you on. Ooh. Give me a second. Oh, Rubets. So it's Rubets and Wizza, and they're both owned, I believe, by the same person. They both have the same CEO, but they're marketed as they're not correlated, as if they're like not owned by the same person. But basically, they're exposing how Rubets and Wizza both basically give influencers money to gamble on top of money that they could keep on for themselves, in order for those influencers to promote it or play it, or like for example, for Twitch streamers, they can play, they can show that they're using Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to gamble in this website, and that they win money and they lose money. Oh shit, like I lost this amount of money. But as the viewer, you would think that that's their money that they're using in order to just play in this site. But in reality, what these guys are exposing is that they're basically giving Wizza and there by there I mean Wizza and Rubets are giving money to these influencers in order for them to waste it right back into Rubets and Wizza. So, but to the viewer, it's believed, or it's thought to be believed that it's the influencer's money that's either getting won or lost or used during these transactions. But these two individuals have caught these motherfuckers slipping, and I love it. And I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the ride because if there's anything that I hate the most, is these scammers. These motherfucking, oh man, bro. These people, bro. These people that just want to suck the most money they can out of their fan base, which is it's so fucked up to me. It's like, I could understand why the average person would want to look at that and be like, I mean, I have a fan base. If they support me, I might as well take full advantage of that. But it's like, bro, put yourself in that predicament, in that situation. Like, if you were in the fan base and your favorite YouTuber started to put out shit that you would, that you start to think about and be like, whoa, hold on a second. And you start to question it, you're not gonna fuck around with that person anymore. And eventually, you feel me, you're gonna be mad, you're gonna feel left out, you're gonna feel left down. And it's just unethical. Like, it's just fucked. And then like Aiden Ross was like involved with this whole shit, but he was also involved a little bit with like other tokens as well that he's gotten paid for. Well, this is not a token, but he's been involved in things like tokens and shit like that he's gotten paid for to promote and then like put off as if it's his shit and then like pull out pump and dumps basically. But yeah, it's so fucked up. I mean, I love to see these motherfuckers get taken down. I'm not gonna hold you. I love it. I love it. And then it's crazy to me because I'll go to these people's pages on social media and they'll still have the immense amount of support from their fan base, regardless of the viral video that's going off here on the side. So it would be an immense amount of viewers on people's streams, on these influencer streams and shit like that. And videos and content that they put out are heavily supported by their fan base. But it's like, it just puts you to wonder, like, do these kids, because it's most certainly kids, the people that watch Jake Paul, Logan Paul, are all under the age of 18. Literally. That's literally who they cater for. And that's not only Jake Paul and Logan Paul. It's also Aiden Ross, and it's also the Nelk Boys. It's, yeah. Steve Will Do It is involved with this new one. So, yeah. It's funny because these guys really expose how how they really just really psychoanalyze these influencers' content, and they show you how these influencers basically snitch on themselves and others around them as well. So it's you really see that in this particular series that they have going on that is currently developing, and it's amazing to watch. That's why I love it so much, because I loved how they did it with Save the Kids, and they're doing it much better now with this series. So if you guys want, go check out what I'm talking about. You'll find part 1 on CoffeeZilla's page. It's his latest video as of today. And then the part 2 would be off on Some Ordinary Gamers page. So shout out to CoffeeZilla and Mudohar. You guys are the best. You guys are beasts. Keep doing your thing. But yeah, you imagine, ironically, like later on down the line, these motherfuckers start doing the same shit. I feel like in order for any of that to happen, I feel like I feel like they'll do it unintentional probably, but they're too smart for all that shit. And I love this era that we're currently in. I don't know if it's always been a thing on YouTube, and I'm just now getting into the party, but I love how yeah, we're here to fucking have real influencers post real content shit. So I'm all here for it. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't, please take your time, if you have any, to look into these things. And you let me know what you think about those things. And if you're already well informed about them and you know exactly what I'm talking about, then shoot me up a DM or hit me up or write down in the comments. I'm gonna definitely read the comments once people start commenting on my shit. So, but yeah, that's enough about that. I think it's NBA time. I think it's time to talk about the NBA. Yeah, basically from what I'm seeing here. We're gonna start it off with the Lakers. They're losing up to now all of the preseason games. They've lost. I think they're 0-4 or 0-5, if I'm not mistaken. But I can safely say that Carmelo Anthony is gelling in. He scored 17 points last night. And it was against the Suns. And I was really happy because the night before, or the game before, he scored like 8 points, but it was like, how can I say? There were streaks. Like they got streaks. He got streaky with those points. So like he scored like 8 points back to back to back, and then like just didn't score anything after that. But it for him, he got streaky in this game too, and ended the night with 17 points, which is exactly what we need. What Russell Westbrook, on the other hand, he had 9 turnovers last night. And I think the night before, the game before, he had like 4 or some shit like that. And it's not concerning. I'm not worried at all whatsoever. Because number one, the Lakers during these last 4 or 5 preseason games have not played all of their starters together. According to Anthony Davis, from his post-game press conference, supposedly against the Warriors tomorrow, they will be playing all Melo, LeBron, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis on the floor. So I can't wait for that. I'm gonna try to watch the game, but I'll most likely be editing this episode for you guys. But yeah, I mean, shit. Honestly, I feel like, Westbrook said it himself. There's nothing to be worried about. He says personally he has never felt like he's had a good preseason, any good preseason for ever since he's been in the league. But yeah, he says that these things eventually, like, he'll start picking up, and that turnovers are a thing that is easy for him to pick up. So that's one of the reasons. That's like in a reassuring. I'm now more reassured that everything's gonna be okay. I was already reassured before. I was already like feeling good about it anyways. Yeah, we lost, but it's like this. None of this counts. You know, why the fuck would Melo score more or attempt to score more? The only reason Westbrook has gone like 3 of 4, 3 of 12 and like 2 of 8, it's because he's not shooting the ball that much. He's choosing not to shoot the ball that much. So it's like, and they don't play all 30 plus minutes. They play a little under 20. It's basically a fucking quarter and a half. But I don't know. It's people are you already know the haters. They're on that ass. The haters are just everywhere. They're just letting people know how they truly feel about the Lakers, and that, you know, it's not gonna work, but eventually it's gonna work. I've seen some flashes of DeAndre Jordan doing really well and catching these lobs in these past few games, so I've been very happy about that too. I have no worries with what's this guy's name, Dwight Howard, because I know what he brings to the game. I know how excited he gets. My main concern was DeAndre Jordan. But, you know, slowly but surely, I'm starting to feel better about him. Malik Monk, on the other hand, has gotten me very surprised. I didn't think, honestly, yeah, I knew he was a good player. I knew how well he did back in Charlotte, but I didn't think it would correlate with the Lakers not this fast. I thought that it would correlate later on down in the season, middle of the season and on, but it's been amazing. He's a catch and shoot 3-and-D, fucking he could low key be a point guard. He can make his own plays and shit like that and create plays for other players. It's amazing. I'm starting to really like it. Kendrick Nunn, I haven't really seen much of, but the bit that I've seen has gotten me a little bit excited as well. Ariza just is currently going through a surgery. I think it was something with the ankle, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And also THT, Talon Horton Tucker. He just yesterday got news that he breaking news that he had a torn ligament on his thumb and he's getting surgery, so he'll be out for a few as well. But it's amazing to me because I love how we're getting through with this now. You feel me? We're dealing with the shit now. We're dealing with these injuries now. We're dealing with the necessary things that we have to do out of the way now than more so in the middle of the season when it's very crucial for your team to really be gelling together. And luckily, well, hopefully, we don't have to deal with any certain injuries. But any certain injuries later on in the season. But if we just deal with these problems now, we're gonna be fucking good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be chilling. The Nets are still they've decided to practice or take some practices in their outside facility, I believe, for the sake of Kyrie Irving. For the sake of Kyrie Irving's decision. It is fucking crazy to me. I don't know, bro. I love you, Kyrie, but you killing me, brother. You're killing me, man. Then again, I feel you, my nigga. Feel me? I don't want to get the vaccine either. Shit. Fuck is you talking about? The amount of money that I seen that motherfuckers could potentially lose per game was crazy. It's like $300,000 a game. If I'm not mistaken, it's like $300,000 a game. It's crazy. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that. And with that being said, I don't have anything else to talk about. So, with that being said, thank you guys for another episode of Scary Hour. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had a great weekend last weekend, and I hope you have an even better one this one coming up. So, if you haven't already, follow us on social media at Adrian's World. Like, subscribe, share to your friends as well. We need the most exposure we can have. But I do understand that slowly but surely things will, you guys will start pouring in little by little. Hopefully. I hope you have a great day. May God bless you and yours. And see you on next week. Scary Hour. Deuces.